Commissioner Vanella?
Here.
Commissioner Hightower?
Here.
Commissioner Webb?
Here.
Commissioner Goss?
Here.
Mayor Butler?
Here. This is a special meeting convened pursuant to notice. And let's see. I believe there are some gentlemen here to talk about natural gas. Is that correct? Well, proceed.
Okay, I'll proceed to start.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to ask Dallas Benabi to come up and just kind of explain how we got to work with, how we, the city, came to ask Affordable Gas and Electric to come give a bid for us. Dallas? This is our Chamber of Commerce Executive Director.
Hello, gentlemen. I'm Dallas Benavi. I'm the Executive Director of the Marion Chamber of Commerce, and we partner with Affordable Gas and Electric to provide electric and gas aggregation. Yeah. We're one of many chambers that partner with them, and we have Jeff and Jordan Harmon here and Rob Wilt who will tell you more about it.
Thank you, Dallas.
That was simple, wasn't it? Thanks for having us. As Dallas mentioned very quickly, we represent all of the chambers throughout Southern Illinois for gas and electricity buying groups. Similar to your residential aggregation program, we also are partners with Select Energy in the Southern Illinois Aggregation Partnership. So on the residential side, we have the cities of Marion and a bunch of other communities, and then Select Energy has Marion, Carbondale, and some others, and then we partner together on Heron. So we're sort of on the residential side, we have that aggregate buying group on the residential side, and then on the commercial side, we handle the gas and electricity for our chamber partners throughout Southern Illinois. Gail was kind enough to invite us to come up here and talk to you guys about natural gas. Your contract is expiring at the end of September of this year. It's a good opportunity to pick up natural gas right now. The market's in a good place. You may or may not. I was in Chicago last week at an Illinois Energy Brokers Conference. Natural gas is unlimited at this point. The prices are very stable. Generally speaking, even the hurricane hasn't really impacted the prices of natural gas because there's just so much gas available at this point. The market is down just a little bit. Jordan brought some prices. Your current contract has a little bit of some fixed and some index type gas. So you've got some of it, the price is the same no matter what, layered in, right? And some of it is varying month to month. We have the option, and it's really kind of your call at this point, because if you'd like budget certainty, we can fix 100% of your gas for the 2-year, 3-year period, 12-month period, whatever your choice is. We can fix 100% of it, and you'll know what the number is, and depending on your usage, you just pay that amount. We have other companies that will layer in, similar to the way you're doing it presently. And then we have other companies that'll do 100% variable if you want to play the market and see if you can beat the market. I think our recommendation at this point would be, at a minimum, allow yourself to layer in fixed numbers as you go at a minimum, if not fixing the 100% for your extended period of time. I mean, Jordan will have, Jordan's got some of these numbers with him. Jordan is my procurement manager, and Jordan, we're talking about $3.24, something in that range for natural gas at this point.
Yeah, for a 2-year term, it's $3.42. For a 3-year term, it's $3.29
Per watt.
per decatherm.
What's that exactly?
Yeah.
Well, Ameren uses the therms as the measure of natural gas. Decatherm is what the competitive suppliers use. Basically, you guys use, as a city, on average, you guys use about 75,000 therms per year, or 7,500 decatherms. And the current price for the fixed rate stuff that I see that you guys have through CenterPoint is $3.78 per decatherm. So you're looking at a little bit of a drop on both the 2 and the 3-year prices.
And Jordan, the index rate that we saw back from the December bills, the actual index rate, if you the part of the bill that was variable is even higher than the fixed rate at in that particular month. Is that correct?
Yeah, back in December, the 1 month of bills that we had, the index price was $3.82.
So you're below the current numbers that you guys have been looking at over the past at least year anyway, in today's market. So it really is a comfort level, whether it's you guys as a council or even Gail, from a budgeting standpoint. Do you want to know that price certainty? And if you do, locking in at these low numbers is not a bad thing at all.
Do we know what our rate has been historically?
Jordan, do you have any of those? I mean, we just have that 1 month from December. Gail, do you?
Well, from 2015 to 2017, we had a point, or 378 was our price. It did go up, and that was the price we locked it in at. From 2012 to 2015, we were 3.48. And so right now, we're looking at prices where we were when we locked it in 2012. And in general, the market has come down overall. And that's one of the things, it was up at different times when we bid it. But right now, the market is more like where we were in 2012, which is to our advantage. And one thing, Jordan, wasn't Ameren like 440?
Ameren's anywhere from 4.1 to 4.4.
Okay.
In that range. Ameren's rates vary a little bit month to month. They're never
Now,
fully locked.
how do you deliver your gas? Through Ameren's lines, I suppose?
Yeah, same thing as your electricity for your buildings, for the city's buildings. It comes through, it's essentially a rate that's passed through the Ameren transaction.
We'll still have a transmission cost.
You'll still have all of the delivery side that Ameren serves, correct?
Okay, given the trends in fracking, are you able to forecast what the future rates would be based on those trends, or?
Well, I won't be that rich, so I wouldn't be able to get it exactly right, but at the conference that we were at last week, the experts that we spoke to said that they do not expect, they expect natural gas prices literally to be flat for the next few years because there's just so much in the industry. Until we come, this is big picture now, right? If we begin as a country to export natural gas, liquefying it and really shipping it out in a major way, that may put some pressure on the amount of the gas that we have in storage through the winter months and those kinds of things. But right now, it's just, we run through the gas in the winter, we replenish it overnight in the spring, and it's done. Now, you get into situations like you had, 3 or 4 years ago? You've probably heard of the polar vortex, right? There was that 1 year where it was really, really cold, and natural gas spiked through the roof. That was a very short-term thing that happened over a 2-month period, but if you didn't have gas locked in at that point, you felt it pretty good. I mean, there were a lot of manufacturing companies that really felt that pretty good. I don't see any of that happening at this point, especially now because we have so much gas. A hurricane is shutting down some oil rigs in the off the coast, and that's not affecting the natural gas prices at all. So it's a relatively safe time to be in the natural gas business in terms of...
Would that effect be immediate with the hurricane, or would it take a few weeks for it to catch up?
You would expect if they shut down oil rigs, that's when you would actually start to see an effect on natural gas if there was going to be one, and it hasn't.
Okay.
So given that hurricane, and they even said last week they knew that was coming, and they didn't expect any impact from it. So, and that's what we've seen.
Do we expect to find a continuing increase in the amount of natural gas available?
As long as as long as fracking is still moving forward, every time they open up new oil wells, they keep finding natural gas to go with it, and that's why we have so much natural gas at this point. So, here's the thing about natural gas, just like any commodity. Can it go to zero? I mean, somebody's got to sell it for some price at some point. You see numbers today that are that are similar to the numbers that were 5 years ago. Could we see it go lower? Gosh, I mean, you could, potentially see it go lower, but lower is relative to a spike that you might see on a very cold snap in the winter, where short-term the market has a reaction, and then everybody calms down, and then the market goes back down. But if you happen to close your gas accounts on an index the day the market freaked, you get stung with that. And so our preference has always been, from a conservative standpoint, if you would rather know and have budget certainty, find the right place in the market to buy it, be done with it, lock it in. That's just kind of the way we've always approached things.
So is our current contract with you?
Your current contract is with a company called CenterPoint out of St. Louis. It's a company that we generally have tried to price with. We are a broker, so we represent all suppliers, and we basically, through our chamber buying group, let them beat each other up to see who's going to bring us the best deal. So Jordan,
We don't need to get a price from them too, then?
I think we actually
Have
have,
a price.
Okay.
At today's price.
Yeah.
These guys are
Price is
cheaper.
only good, like, for the time we're looking at.
What is it?
they were higher,
Yeah, they were higher.
right?
What is it?
I said they were higher. They were 3.42.
342, that's,
Over 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, what?
that's just today's price.
That's, well, and that's what people quote.
Did you say you was 3.42?
So
He was 3.24.
we have,
He said 42.
we have two different prices from two different
24.
suppliers. Direct Energy is the one that can offer a full 100% fixed rate, no matter if you guys use above or below what's expected volume. So their prices were what I quoted earlier, where 2-year was at 342 and a 3-year was at 329. We also have a company called Constellation who does the exact same thing as CenterPoint. If you guys look at the invoices that I saw from the city in December, you actually only had a portion of your gas locked in at that $3.78 mark. A lot of it, over half of it, was actually floating on the index, meaning you were paying a market-based price each month. So the quote from Constellation, we would be locking 85% of your expected gas, and a 2-year price would be $3.29, and a 3-year price would be $3.22. That would lock 85% of your expected gas, but if you used the full 100% of what's expected, that additional 15% would be charged at a market-based price. So month to month, that extra 15% would be floating on the index.
So Constellation doesn't have a fixed rate?
Not 100%.
Constellation or CenterPoint, neither one of them can do a full
Right.
100% fixed rate.
Direct Energy in the Ameren territory is the only company that will do what they call a 100% swing, where they're guaranteeing you the rate whether you use, if you currently base everything on 76,000 therms, right? 75,000. If you used 95,000, you're still paying the same fixed rate with Direct Energy. If you used 45,000, you're still paying the same rate, and you don't have to sell any gas back. The other suppliers in Ameren territory, they do it based on what you historically have used, and so if you use 75,000 and historically, and you end up using 95,000, you're going to buy 20,000 therms at whatever the market is for that 20,000 therms. Does that make sense? If you only use 45,000 and we bought 75,000 worth, you're going to sell gas back at whatever the market is to balance that out. So that's the difference between your variable and 100% swing and 100%
We're
fixed.
going to sell it back at the market rate?
You're going to sell it back at the market rate.
Yeah, I don't like that.
I'll just tell you right now, we had a customer that was a manufacturer in West Frankfort who asked us to, he thought the market was going to go up, and he literally asked us to buy more gas than what he thought because he was wanting to sell some back. It's a terrible mistake. We begged the guy not to do it. No, that's what I want to do, and that is not the right answer. You don't want to do that. That's why, Constellation, we would tell you that if we thought it was just, let's do 75,000 therms, we'd buy 75,000 and book it. We are conservative again and saying, listen, we don't want you to have to sell any back, so we're telling Constellation, only buy 85% fixed, and we'll play 15% of it if we have to on the market. But Direct Energy will literally lock all of it and make sure it's the same price. Ammon's not the easiest place in the world to buy natural gas. It's not as simple as electricity.
Direct's a viable company. I mean, it's a,
Direct is probably one of the top 4 suppliers in the country, both gas and electricity. Yeah. Direct Energy, Constellation, those are the 2 big boys in the industry.
Well, it looks to me like at 3 years at 322, can you get locked in for 322?
324.
322,
329, is it?
329 is direct, if I'm not mistaken.
29 is the direct energy price that you could lock in 100%, and that's always going to be your rate.
no matter what we use.
Constellation is 322.
That makes sense to me,
Yeah, me too.
yeah.
Constellation would be 322, but that again would only be locking 80.
Yeah, well, okay, so you got to go to the 329 to get it to 100%.
Right.
But we probably don't need 100%.
The difference is what, $500 we looked at, Jordan?
Yeah, so the difference between the two is if you're getting the direct energy product, no matter what you use, that's your rate, $329. If you're buying from Constellation, you're only buying 85% of what's expected, and then the rest would be floated. So we would recommend, and I think what Mayor Butler is saying, to know that the price is going to be $329 regardless of what you use, up or down. It would be a fixed price, and you guys would know that going in.
On 75,000 therms?
On 75,000 therms.
75,000 on 100,000 on.
Whatever we use.
Whatever you
Don't
use.
get into a matter of selling back.
That's right.
You're not selling anything back, you're not.
Yeah,
So there's no
That's crazy.
fixed amount that we have to buy?
No.
It's just on use basis?
That's correct. Direct Energies looks like your electricity buy, where it doesn't matter how much you use,
Okay.
your rate's going to be your rate. That's what you're trying to get to, I
What's the
think.
name of your company?
Our company is AGE, Affordable Gas and Electric. We're based out of Mount Vernon.
AGE?
AGE.
They're out of Mount Vernon, Bob.
Well, we won't hold that against
Well, I
them too much.
thought I'd mention.
I appreciate that.
Yeah,
We bought dinner at your last mayor's association meeting, so we,
That'll
you know,
be him. That'll-
I'm trying anything.
You got him.
I wasn't there.
You weren't there.
Okay.
We lose to your football team and basketball team. We do, yeah, soccer for sure.
Sell alcohol like her.
Direct energy at 100%, that'd be our recommendation, yes.
Okay, well,
And by the way, Gail was supposed to have had me on a clock earlier.
Oh, yeah, you are. I'm sorry.
Okay. She told me it was going to be,
okay, well, I've got
I'll make, now,
Go ahead.
is this with direct or select?
direct.
Correct.
direct.
I'll make a motion to buy, go into an agreement with Direct Energy for 100% of the fixed cost of natural gas for $329 for 36 months.
I'll second it.
Motion made and second, call the roll.
Commissioner Manella,
Yay.
Commissioner Hightower,
Yay.
Commissioner Webb,
Yay.
Commissioner Goss,
Yay.
and Mayor Butler.
Yay. Thank you much.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Yes.
Mount Vernon Rams.
And I'd like to thank Dallas for bringing this group to us, because that consortium has helped us a lot.
We appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Great job on the legislative conference, too.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you, and you'll send me a contract.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
That last speaker was a little bit shaky, but
They cut me off at the pass. Okay.
First year is like,
I believe,
supposed to be.
does this young lady have something you want to talk about?
I'm actually Tanya Slater, Lucky Lady here in Marion, and we were just going to see if we could apply for the liquor license for Sundays.
What is your business?
Lucky Lady in Marion.
you want to step to the podium?
Video gaming, I think, is off of, on Carbon, the
Yeah.
curve there.
Yeah.
No, we're the one in the Marion Plaza,
In the Marion Plaza.
Marion Crossing.
Ma'am, could you speak over here, and then we can get it on video stream this? Thank you.
Yeah, like I said, we're the one in the Marion Crossing Shopping Center.
Yeah.
And we had a lot of people, kind of like John Brown's, that had requested to have football and that kind of thing. We have football on Sundays at our other location, or getting ready to next week. And that's kind of our thing for Sunday, was to, have a football crowd. And we just have beer and wine, that was all we have.
That's all you can have.
Right, and that's all we want.
You would have that regardless.
Right.
Okay.
But we're not open on Sundays now.
Okay, then what is it you're wanting?
A Sunday license to be open on Sundays.
Is this related to item 4 on the agenda?
Yeah, that's something I'll have to give some thought to. We're,
Yeah, you're the liquor commissioner. I mean, that's solely in your hands.
that's why I got to give it some thought.
Well, what are location, you have one here in Marion, do you have?
We have one in Marion and one in Craneville.
Okay.
We're from Johnston City, so, we're
That's
local.
great. One in Craneville, one in Marion, and you're in Johnston City. What happened to Johnston City?
Well, I don't know.
Okay. All right, well, since I see that what you're thinking about, I'll appraise the situation, give it some consideration, and,
Okay. Well, we appreciate that.
yeah, be more than happy to do so.
Do you want us to just check back with you then, or?
Yeah. Today's Thursday, first of next week.
Okay, that'll be fine. We'll do that. Thank you.
All right. Now, okay, what about the street department business?
Asking council approval of Michael Miller as a new hire to fill the vacancy of the mechanic labor position at the street department per the laborers agreement local 773. That is not a new hire, that is a replacement for Terry Clark.
Okay,
I'll
it's
second that.
simply to fill a vacancy. That's your motion?
Yes.
We have a
Second.
second. We have a second.
Call the roll.
Commissioner Ranella,
Yay.
Commissioner Hightower,
Yay.
Commissioner Webb,
Yay.
Mr. Goss.
Yay.
and Mayor Butler.
Yay. Okay, what's ordinance 3399? Subdivision plat Saluki Acres.
And this is the one, I think you might have had a copy of it in your packet from Monday night. We did the vacation of Wall Street Development, which was subdivided under a different property owner. Since then, a new property owner has bought it, and they're the ones that asked for the vacation. This is just now merely actually subdividing that property into 3 lots, making it a simpler development. I call it development. They're really not even going to have a city road or anything. They're going to have an ingress-egress easement to access all 3 lots. We'll have a simple water and sewer extension to get back to all 3 lots that they'll pay for and put in. As I said Monday night, this is the one, I can't remember how many lots were on the Wall Street development, 10 to 20 or something like
Okay,
that.
in the plat, they have lots 1, 2, and 3.
Yep.
Those are the lots you're talking about?
Yep, just 3 large lots is what they're looking to develop.
3 big lots.
Yep.
I mean, we adopt ordinance 3399.
I'll second.
Yeah. Got a motion to adopt ordinance 3399. What, about a second?
I'll second.
Call the roll.
Commissioner Ranella,
Yay.
Commissioner Hightower,
Yay.
Commissioner Webb,
Yay.
Commissioner Goss.
Yay.
and Mayor Butler.
Yay.
Brian, how are they going to access through that outlot A?
Yeah, they own, part of what they own is there's a lot right up against that, what is the road over here? I don't remember the name.
Saluki?
The main road there where there are already lots. Yeah, Saluki. They own that lot right there, so that lot, that outlot A is basically going to be an access
Oh, okay.
egress,
All right.
egress easement to get back there. So they own the 3 lots and then the lot that's up against Saluki. So that lot's not going to, up against Saluki, it's not going to be a lot, it's just going to be an access way.
Yeah.
Is there going to be an issue like at Folsky Road where there's no paved road or anything? Is there going to be an issue like that, or?
What they're going to do is having a covenant agreement between the 3 lots that they own and maintain the driveway. So it's going to be a private drive that we don't have to maintain.
Okay.
But what we will maintain is when they put in water and sewer.
Water and sewer, yeah.
Just to go through that access lot to get back to make sure it gets to all 3 lots.
So there's no street involved in this?
So just a private drive that they own.
And that's in writing?
Yeah,
Yeah,
good question.
well, this is just,
That's a very good question.
yeah, and that's why we subdivided, I think we just call it outlot A. We're not calling it a dedicated right-of-way in any way. But typically, for us to actually maintain it, we prove it's.
Well, the owners are going to be aware of that 5 years from now?
Right.
Yeah. Well,
I guess the county will record a deed if it's not a public road. won't it?
Yeah.
Right, yeah, as right now, it's just still an outlot, so they still own it. We've not dedicated, we're not accepting any right-of-way from them. So it's up to them to make sure all three of those lot owners, or the developer, pays for it. But the way it was explained to me, that they're having the covenants that they all buy in, that they,
I'd like to have that pretty explicitly.
okay, I can ask them for a covenant. The covenants are typically
Yeah.
recorded at the courthouse. I'll tell them we want a copy of it.
Recording down there doesn't mean anything whenever they come up here.
Yeah, okay. I'll let them know that this was approved, but we want a copy of that, so,
Appreciate it.
okay.
Good point, Angelo. For sure, man.
Okay. Approve amendment to ordinance 3393, the liquor ordinance. Now, this isn't exactly the form that it needs to be in. We're talking about Section 3 of the ordinance being amended by increasing the number of Class 2 licenses. Is that not correct?
Yes.
Okay, to 15. So what I'm proposing is, to make these changes, we need to pass an ordinance, not repass 3393. So the next item would be Section 2. Now, paragraph I of Section 7. Look at that. Section 7. Okay. Now, what would be proposed is it says Class 7, to amend that section so that it reads as follows. An establishment that is in possession of an existing license may, upon the approval of the Liquor Control Commissioner, receive an additional license as defined in this Section 7 for the same location. The fee for such license shall be $500 payable annually in advance. Now, that's pretty well what it already says. This is where the amendment comes in. Sunday sales of alcoholic beverages by holders of a Class 7 license are prohibited unless the holder thereof has a Class 3A license. So, that gets around to what she was talking about. She has beer and wine now, and she's wanting to be able to sell on Sunday. Well, this would say you can sell on Sunday with that license, provided you're also the holder of a Class 7 license.
It says. Yep.
Because that makes it symmetrical, I think. Now, proposing it this way, because if you don't, everyone that has the Class 3A license or Class 7 license, everybody will be wanting to be selling on Sunday. And so what I'm trying to do is put perhaps a condition in that. Otherwise, all you got to do is just open the door and say everybody's got a license can sell on Sunday, period.
No. Because you limit the amount of Class 7 license you have.
Well, that would be a restriction, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
You only allow so many Class 7 license.
yeah. That's exactly right.
Well, he's got a number on there,
Hi.
on page 3, only 5 Class 7 licenses. He's already
Yes.
signed up.
Yeah,
But at the same time, the liquor commissioner has sole authority to grant a license, or not grant a license.
Right.
Which reminds me of the people from Huck's have been pressing real hard to get the license. And I have repeatedly told them that we can't do that because they've got 4 Huck stores in town. You issue a license for one, they're going to want it for all 4. They get it, then Casey's going to want one. But they've got 3 stores, so all 3 of them will have it. You let those 2 operations have it, then your grocery stores, your gasoline stations, your drug stores are going to come in and want a license. I am opposed to having liquor sales on every corner in town. I don't think it's necessary. I think there's only going to be so much money available to buy alcohol. And I think the more licensees you have, the more it's going to be spread about. Now, I recognize that a lot of these outfits are not interested in selling alcohol. They just want the license because that's a requirement to get a video gaming license. Well, that's something else, too. But anyhow,
But, well, you take the Hucks on Halfway Road. Now, they circumvented that by putting a
Truck
stop in.
oh yeah, but
Because you go to the west side, and
but
that's,
they still don't sell any alcohol.
no,
No,
but they got their video gaming.
sure,
Yeah.
because that's the way the statute
Yeah.
reads. You can either have a liquor license or a truck stop.
Yeah.
Which to me is really, it doesn't make any sense, but that's the law.
And apparently that truck stop, it doesn't stipulate how many trucks have to actually buy fuel there.
I think you're
Well,
right.
they've got a condition, they're supposed to sell 10,000 gallons, I think, a year. Well, if you got any kind of a truck stop, you're going to
yeah,
sell
they'll do
more
that.
than 10,000 gallons.
Yeah.
So-
What's the saddle tank, 50 or 100?
Yeah, probably 100, I'd say.
Probably 100. So every time one comes in, they got 2 saddle tanks. They could buy anywhere from 100+ gallons of gas, so
100
it's
trucks
not
a
gonna
year.
take too many of them to 1,000 a year.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
wouldn't take long
No.
to sell that. So the legislature in all its wisdom screws things up. And the only problem is that it winds up our problem. And they give you problems, but they don't give you any solutions. And if they'd get out of our way, we could do a whole lot of things, but
Kind of like this last budget, they failed to mention the 2% tax on home rule that they're gonna take forever.
oh yeah.
That's gonna be at least 150,000 out of our coffers a year. And we didn't budget for that last year. It's gonna be 70-something this year. We didn't budget for them to take our money. And then the allegedly one-time 10% on the income tax, so,
No, well, see, we're at their mercy.
yeah.
And-
Yeah, they're just shifting, you're right, Mayor, they're just shifting the burden down to the local level.
Yeah, it's sad. But it seemed to me this is one way of handling a situation to keep it from getting out of hand. I get a little disturbed about, with due respect to this young lady, I get a little disturbed, though, of all these people coming in, and I won't say it's frightening, but it is disturbing. This, I think, will eliminate some of those who might otherwise be interested.
So is there anything to actually move on for 3393 today?
Yep, what
The-
I've just suggested.
Okay,
These would be the amendment to 3393.
I'll make that motion to approve those amendments as written.
Need a second?
Second.
Do you read shorthand or Butler?
This just approves the amendment to what you've already
I can
passed.
read short Butler minutes.
Yeah.
Like they passed Monday, this amends that.
Well, this simply puts in writing the amendment proposed. We have it here,
It's
but
right
it
there,
needs to
John,
be
read
a
it.
separate ordinance.
The font's too small.
Ordinance 3401.
Yeah, so this would be a new ordinance with a new ordinance number, and it simply includes roughly what is already here. It just clarifies it.
Had nothing to do with the hours.
Yeah.
Nothing with the
Of course, that includes the change in the hours. Yeah,
That's already been, we already voted.
we've already taken care of that.
This doesn't affect anything on
Doesn't
that.
affect anything but
Okay.
what it says. Nothing to do with
So
hours.
that's a new ordinance number?
Yeah, need a new ordinance number.
Well, then, it's not on the agenda, we can't vote for it. Is that right?
Well,
The description is, it's just the.
It's just the number is not there.
3393, it would be 3401.
We just made that stipulation in the.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, she's,
yeah.
Yes.
Okay, having said that, what's your pleasure?
I second it.
Yeah, I already made the motion. Angelo seconded it.
Call roll.
Commissioner Ranella,
Yay.
Commissioner Hightower.
Yay.
Commissioner Webb,
Yay.
Commissioner Goss,
Yay.
and Mayor Butler.
Yeah. I don't know if you can read. You
I bet I
read my
can.
writing.
If not, we'll
Yeah,
come back.
read that, Alice, if you can.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
You print it on your computer.
don't, yeah. Okay, what's the ordinance 3400?
this is a redevelopment agreement for the Marion Hillview Tax Increment Financing District for Krispy Kreme, for Rodney Cabanas. And this one was a little ways in being done because this was originally in TIF 1, and then it had to be moved out of TIF 1 and a new basis established by the county to be put into the new TIF, which the council approved some time ago, or earlier this year, and that would give Krispy Kreme 23 years in their redevelopment agreement. They did spend quite a few costs, and in doing this, so this agreement also includes a sales tax provision to reimburse some of the costs for road development, which the Krispy Kreme group put in, that also aided the development of Jimmy John's and for Buffalo Wild Wings. They incurred extra costs, so Mayor Butler increased the TIF reimbursement on this a little bit so that Krispy Kreme could be made whole over the time frame of their agreement for their road costs.
What is that about?
It's an 85-15 reimbursement and a cap of $1,060,000. And that would be including eligible costs and sales tax. So it would be that accumulates. That's on page 4.
Now, well, you said 85-15.
Yes, that's what you and the majority owner had discussed.
Okay, well, that's just the real estate tax.
Yes, and then in sales taxes at the second item, and that's 100% of the city's portion of the municipal sales tax. We would still get home rule tax on that.
Yeah, okay, as long as we're getting the home rule tax.
What TIF did you get moved to?
It's the Hillview TIF, so it's where Jimmy John's, Krispy Kreme, Buffalo Wild Wings, the Mach 1, and then soon to be another office building will be there.
Is it being built now?
Not yet. It's still under negotiation.
Okay.
So that $1,060,000, that's, we're not doing that much, they're not doing that much road work, that's just their total.
That's the total eligible costs.
They won't approach that with the increments, though.
No, they're still not going to make any more money back than they didn't already spend. What it does is they spent more than that on that project.
Yeah, it doesn't make them whole, but it
No.
heads in that direction.
Yeah, they had to present, they will have to have sent in eligible costs, receipts that show they had spent that much money in the development and purchase of that property and the development of the land and the infrastructure.
Yeah, to be eligible to get the money
Yeah.
back.
So it's like, we don't give them money that they haven't already spent over 23 years.
I'll make that.
Well, you know, I don't expect to be around for 23 years.
You expect to be around for 50?
We may stuff you and put you behind, or you may still be here.
Be like a trigger?
Yeah.
Roy Rogers and Trigger?
Put some toothpicks in your eyes and stuff behind the counter, he'll never know it.
Weekend at Bernie's, maybe.
Weekend
No
at
more than he does, he'll never know it. We just stuff him in there.
We got a motion, and I'll second that motion.
Call the roll.
Commissioner Manella,
Yay.
Commissioner Hightower.
Yay.
Commissioner Webb.
Yay.
Commissioner Goss.
Yay.
And Mayor Butler.
Yay. Okay, anything else? I think that pretty well takes care of the agenda. That being the case, I believe a motion would be in order.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Call the roll.
Commissioner Manella,
Yay.
Commissioner Hightower.
Yay.
Commissioner Webb.
Yay.
Commissioner Goss.
Yay.
And Mayor Butler.
Yay.
I want to congratulate you, Bob. You made it 15-minute into 45. You did well.
Kids, you did good. I think that was a good meeting.
15-minute meeting.